I really thought you'd stand me up again.
Hey, V.
I thought Bully would
to
have
see
the
you
right
again.
shotgun.
Got another race to run,
Bully
huh?
is a fantastic shot.
Second of 4, I hope.
He is.
Ready to
he
go
is.
off-road?
But he's talking, always.
Think this one will be tough?
Badlands, so
never
no
stops
fucking
running.
around. Anything goes in this race.
I take the
So
turns
you'll
too
have
wide.
your hands full.
You
So
too.
next time I
One
actually
mistake
don't
and we'll be a
make it,
4-ton
there's duct tape in
tumbleweed.
the trunk.
I can do
Just
this.
saying.
Okay, I'm just gonna melt under that sun, so gonna wait in the car.
Sure.
Hey guys, remember! Maximum madness!
Ladies and gentlemen, get your pants on right, strap in, and fire up your engine! 30 seconds and counting.
Yeah? What's up? Thanks!
Three, two, one!
The hell, V? Get back to the...
Whoa, let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wednesday Rambles. Today I'm gonna be yapping with Sunday. Yeah, let's go.
Let's stop. I have no clue what I'm in here for, but I guess you can kind of introduce a topic for us here.
I already kind of told you the topic before, but anyway, we're gonna be talking about women in anime. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
What is now for the people at home? What is a woman?
Well, I don't know. They've never been documented before. According to the laws of the internet, they do not exist.
I didn't think they did. That's what I'm asking you to explain. Is it like?
Yeah, but women in anime,
Is it-
they're 2D and they look great.
Can I put them on pillows?
Yes.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's like femboys, but different.
Dude, I love femboys.
I know, right? Greatest specimen in the world. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that and how fucking awful they are portrayed in anime. Because they are just portrayed as either useless, very in a degenerate light, or they are children, but portrayed in a very degenerate light.
This
Yeah.
is unfortunately so true when it comes to this topic. I really hate generally just how women are represented in this medium, and I always do wonder if a part of that is due to, because a lot of people I heard say this is a Japanese culture views stuff like sex and just women even as a whole. And the reason I bring it up is you mentioned there degeneracy. There's a lot of examples of shows, pretty much every single show. Fan service. There's like
Oh
the
my god,
main.
I fucking hate fan service so much. Okay,
Almo-
I got a little tangent here. Like, fan service is the absolute worst. At best, it is kind of funny. It's a little heh oh funny, right? At worst, at worst, the main character's brother could be like shot, bleeding on the ground, just like about to be decapitated type shit, and then all of a sudden, boobies.
Right? And it happens from in like every single fucking show. Like if there's an anime and it's not one of the very, very, very few exceptions where it's for some reason it's a very serious story like I'm gonna be real, I can't even think of an example. Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that's like the only example I can think of. Even in my favorite show, Code Geass, there's like 2 frames of fan service, and it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like the show is a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the most perfect anime ever. But like even sometimes the most perfect of shows sin. And it's just that those two are just like that, and the tiny filler episodes that are in there is like the only thing that's just making that from being the penoptical, like the greatest of the greatest animes ever. But oh my gosh. And I was like thinking this like earlier, like we live in like an ADHD culture. Like what if fan service is just like the Subway Surfers of anime? Like I don't know.
It kind of is, though, honestly. What it does, its purpose is to fill in moments where the writer doesn't know what to do to keep the audience entertained, especially because the primary demographic that most shows target is shonen.
Pops a boner.
It can be. That's also often is the case. A lot of writers end up putting very perverted ideas into shows that don't need them. Good example of this is MHA, My Hero, whatever you want to call it. My Hero Academia is a show about like middle high schoolers basically with superpowers. So why is it that I'm not even going to talk about the main female character, but there's a girl who's invisible, but because she can't make other things invisible, she's just naked pretty much whenever anything happens in it. And I remember this received some controversy for it. I think they kind of like showed her at some point eventually, and even like when they did show her, even though she's meant to be completely invisible because that's her whole thing, she can't turn invisible, she just is invisible, she was still very lewd and sexualized. And a lot of authors do this. Way too many of them do it.
Like another great point is this Fire Force cat girl person. Their entire gimmick, like I'm not even joking, their entire gimmick is just to be touched inappropriately. And it's just like, why? What does that add to the show? It's not even funny.
You're right about that. No, you're right about that, because I wanted to watch that anime. I heard one of the openings and it was a fucking banger. It was called like Mayday or something.
Yeah, and also the opening ED dramaturgy is such a banger. It's by like a well-known J-pop band too.
Ooh, I haven't listened to it. By Eve?
Yeah, by Eve. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, it sounds so drift. Like,
but
I knew dramaturgy before I got into the show, and when I heard it, I was going. I was so hyped.
Dude, it just sucks because it looks good.
Yeah,
like
Fire Force looks like a great anime, but I've just gotten to the point where I just detest fan service. Like, I get so turned off of a show whenever I see like fan service like that. It's like a primal instinct to just punch my monitor. Like, I don't care. Get you the story. The story is what I care about. I'm not watching this show for like funny sex scenes or whatnot. If I want that, I'll pull up like hentai. Like it just gets
it's in so many things, and it's just, especially because oftentimes fan service it's become to a point where it's not super blatant in shows as much as it was in like earlier shonen stuff. Even like
it's just like everywhere.
Yeah, it's the slop anime that do it because they don't have an excuse for lazy writing. But a lot of bigger shows nowadays, they'll still do it, but they'll do it to a lesser degree. Like they'll have a panty shot, or they'll have like a shot of a girl's tits, and it's like that girl 99% of the time, because again, most anime and manga is targeted to younger people, or not like teenagers, that kind of demographic. the people that they do that to, the panty shots, are of high school girls. Like, I'm sorry?
Which is creepy. But it gets even worse, because as I was pulling up before, skimpy, I guess, kids, I'm just calling them the skimp kids, in anime.
Dude, that sounds so much worse.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real.
But to be honest, like, it's not like I'm not the one that's doing it. Like, have you seen the Ninth Prince or whatever?
Ninth Prince. No.
I know this isn't like a girl or whatnot, but there's the Ninth Prince. It was a recent anime.
Oh, I haven't. Is it like this season?
Oh, it's called the Seventh Prince.
Seventh Prince. Still don't recognize it.
Yeah, but the main
Is it a sloppy
character-
isekai?
It kind of is. I don't know if it's isekai or not, but on the left is the character.
I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability.
Yep, that's it.
I've seen screenshots of this.
Yeah, on the left is the main character, and they are very, very sexualized. I mean, just look at the character design for a second. I'm sorry for everyone, since I'm getting late on the upload schedule, I can't upload a picture, nor do you want to really see it.
I don't like that.
I know, and it gets even worse because there's this one gag in the show.
I don't think it's inherently sexual.
No, they
but
sexualize the shit out of that in the show.
Yeah, okay, because the design itself isn't, but I know why it's like that.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm bothered by it.
I gotta like say this. Like, when I watched the show, it had amazing effects, like amazing. Like the effects of the show were so beautiful. Like the magic was amazing, and it was great. But the way they handle this character is just, and it gets even worse because there was this one joke in the show where there's this character, they have like spider abilities, they shoot out spider webs, or no, it was like slime, like sticky slime, and to guess what the color of the slime was.
The color you're thinking of is not a color, first of all, on a color wheel.
It's a shade. But yeah,
I'd say it. You're not making me say it.
But yeah, it gets all over this character's clothes, so they have to take off their clothes.
Dude, it looks like a child. I don't know if it's
No, they are a child.
It's always a fucking isekai, man.
Yeah.
It's because I will say this again, as I'm thinking about it.
I stuck through this show, like most of the show, just because I liked the magic. The magic was so cool. The magic was so cool. It was great magic. And then they had to go.
No, man, that's fucking. It pisses me off so much. It's. Again, I've noticed it's not as big in like actual big releases, things that people want to watch. That's probably why, is because.
But the fact that like it's technically its own genre at this point. Like there are so many shows you like categorize like Air Manga Sensei. What's the other one? The one that had like a gender swap in the middle of it.
Gender swap in the middle of it.
I'm like forgetting. I've been drinking so much because we've been watching Happy Sugar Life.
That's another show.
Yeah.
That's a whole rabbit hole, but basically it's also kind of brings up, and again, I think this might potentially just be due to...
Jack Daniels is the only thing that's carrying me through this show right now.
I could imagine, Kyle. I could imagine. It's like... So much of Japanese media is so overtly sexualized. I know it's because there's differences in how they view that compared to the West, but that doesn't mean...
It doesn't excuse it. Honestly.
Exactly.
It does not excuse it. Here we go. Onimai.
Onimai, oh my god, yes, that show. The worst part about that show, it has a really good budget.
Here, I'm just gonna send you a figurine that is being sold by that show.
You're streaming so I can see that. Like, no.
Yeah.
The character.
That is an actual figurine being sold.
This show has genuinely good budget. Like, the animation.
It's too well animated.
Right? This is the only other thing made by the studio that made Mushoku Tensei.
Okay, I hate Mushoku Tensei, first of all. I haven't seen a single episode, but everything I've heard about it just made me turn off. That's another bad show where it just utterly degrades women in that. Like,
I haven't watched
hate
it, I
harem
can't
animes,
comment, but
first of all.
I agree. Harems fucking suck. I fucking hate harems.
Like,
And they're in everything.
the harems literally just degrade the woman, okay? Like,
Yeah.
they're being cucked by their main man, and they show it as a positive thing. It is not a positive thing.
They do it even in big shows like Oshinoko, which is huge right now, and the second season's airing.
Oh my god, I got so upset. So, this is gonna be spoiler alerts for the manga. Have you read the manga?
Not all the way through. I'm at like chapter 100, so.
Okay, well then you kind of know a little bit. So this is kind of like spoilers for Oshinoko. If you want to skip ahead, please skip ahead now. So 3, 2, 1. Spoiler territory. So the main character Aqua starts like dating around with literally everyone, like Kana with his sister. Also, that's another thing. Why is there so many sister con shit? Like, that's fucked. Like, please stop pushing that on all of us. And blue haired girl, I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. And it's just like listen, I was a Kana fan, okay? I was a Kana shipper. Like, I wanted Aqua to get with Kana. But, like, I would have been just happy if he just stuck to one person.
I'm gonna be honest though, that still doesn't excuse my biggest issue with it, even, which isn't even the harem itself, but the fact that the guy at the center of the harem, the MC Aqua, is actually a 30-something-year-old man who's now, by technicality, in his like 50s or 60s because of how much lifetime he's had. Because spoilers for the first episode, I guess, which even that is like
spoiler warning, bro.
Yeah, it's like he died. He was like a doctor in his 30s. He was a fan of Eyes, and then he reincarnated after dying as her son. So it's like, you by no means should you feel comfortable dating any of these people.
There is, I'm not like totally defending it, but there's like a sort of like dynamic that's going on that his like doctor self and Aqua are like split or something like that. Like the doctor's the one that's like harboring all the revenge and pushing Aqua to have the revenge. It's like a weird dynamic that's going on with that. Like,
okay,
Aqua's trying to live a normal life, but the doctor is pushing for the revenge. I don't know. That's just what I've seen and kind of interpreted from the show, because every time like Aqua tries to be happy, the doctor appears. And he like talks about living his life as Aqua, not as the doctor or something. I don't know.
That's a possible interpretation of it. I'm not gonna shine at too much because I do think some of the writing can be very capable in this show. I think sometimes the pacing.
By the way, season 2 is actually really well done. Season 2 is so well done.
Well, I haven't watched it because I've just been reading the manga.
Listen,
but
season 2 for Oshinoko, the animation, everything is so well done. Like, even in the opening, it actually got me to tear up a little bit. Because it shows like Ai in the opening like clapping for Aqua while he was like acting on the stage, and it's just like, oh fuck, man.
Oh man,
yeah.
Nah, because even the first season was phenomenal in terms of like production quality. Like, fuck.
It is. I think it's better than season 2.
Yeah, it was so good. There was like the dance choreography scene near the end of the idol group, like in the last episode, was phenomenal. One of the best I've seen in like any idol kind of anime or series.
Season 2.
I definitely.
So well done. Like the visuals and everything are so well done. I'm always impressed with anime that has like really good visuals.
And again, that doesn't. Going back to our main topic, it's like,
yeah, we're kind of like turning into a podcast right now.
I know we are. Going back to our main topic, the harem, man. And this is more so again in slap anime, but it's clearly present in big anime because by all means, Oshinoko is a harem. It's a three-woman harem. Because there's 3 main girls.
And it just takes away the thing that I watched Oshinoko for, the revenge plot, not the fucking harem.
And I get it.
It's literally a side plot for me. Like, I'm kind of interested in it because, you know, it's there. It's like, It's like you go to like a buffet, and it's just like you could either have a bit of ice cream or not. It'll improve your like enjoyment a little bit more.
But that's kind of the issue I have with a lot of, and you're kind of falling victim to it, and I fall victim to it too. Is we just, as fans of anime and manga, we just gloss it to the side. We're like, I mean, it's there, but you don't have to. It's not the main focus of, which it's not. But that doesn't change the fact that
You cannot, but like it focuses heavily on the harem, and not to mention, it just like throws the entire dichotomy of all the character relationships off, and it's just like. It's like after having that ice cream, you have shit. You still enjoyed the ice cream, but you still have the shit.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's so many fucking shows. There's shows that handle topics related to sex pretty well. I think a recent example I thought about was Heavenly Delusion, if you remember that.
Heavenly Delusions, yes, that is so good.
It had a very interesting premise, and the main character is a woman,
but better.
It's Onimai if it wasn't degenerate bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Even the opening for Onimai is so sexualized, and this is gonna like transfer to like the last point I'm gonna get to before we call it here. Let's talk about the fact that like anime girls are just so sexualized, and not even just anime girls, but I also kind of blame the VTubers for this, because the VTubers are also technically anime girls, and it pisses me off so much because in my recommendation, because I happen to like one VTuber song, I just get like, Marine Chan discovers cum for the first time. Isn't that like crazy? And it's just like, oh, stop sexual. Why are you degrading yourself to this point? For what? Your audience? Who only care about you because they want to jack off to you?
That's the thing. I know there's a lot of VTubers that literally know their entire point of their audience is it's kind of like this weird pseudo... the best way to describe it is pseudo boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I remember there was this one drama I watched, but don't remember the name of the VTuber, but basically... Apparently she was a terrible person or something. I don't remember, but she was dating a guy, and the guy was basically the inverse of that. His audience was all women, and they all kind of fawned over him, and her audience was all men, and they did the same thing. And they were dating together, but no one was allowed to know about it. No one knew about it, because people would be pissed about it. And this is why, again, I want to talk about Japanese values, is like, why would your audience be so pissed about this? Why are we in such a...
They remind me of those, like, Japanese girls that literally get hired to date people.
Yeah. And it's like...
I always hated that kind of stuff, because I feel like you're just degenerating yourself, right? You're making the value of your person just feel worse. Like, your value is the Twitch donations. And I feel like this is kind of also brought on by just anime girls. Like, there's a lot of anime girls who are literally, their entire purpose is to be sexualized. And it's just like, no, like, please stop.
It's
like, we need to have moral standards in society where it's just like, no, this is not okay. Like, sure, your boy, your choice or whatnot, but you should have like a sense of value as your person. If your value is like what's in your bands, then it's just like, you kind of need to reevaluate here, don't you agree? Like, go back to the drawing board, maybe make your purpose something else.
Where I specifically stand with it, and what upsets me about it the most, is how it paints society for others. Not for yourself, but how you impact others with your actions, how it degrades other people. This is both how you get incels and how you also hypersexualize young people and groom them. Yeah. By all means, a lot of this content is meant to be accessed and enjoyed by younger people, and it's by the same degree that I think a lot of people agree porn is really bad, is like this makes you develop hypersexuality and start to believe what you see on the screen is more so what you should reflect in your everyday life, whether you do it subconsciously or consciously. This is something that exists within society, I believe.
I totally agree.
Well, yeah, like video games don't cause violence or anything like that. You still
does cause desensitization and other stuff, right?
It does. You're still impacted by the media consume. You are what you eat, and your brain eats what it also eats in a sense. It consumes stuff. And the media interact with changes how you view society.
And this is how you get like stereotypes. Like, let's say like you consume like a bunch of anime, you're gonna have that stereotype that all women are meant to be sexualized or something. Or like, you know, in video games you get desensitized to violence. You know, you get desensitized like women just like undressing before your eyes, and you think it's normal. It's not. Like, it's not normal to see someone's head get blown off, and it's not normal to sexualize women hyperly.
Especially, like, something we've yet to address is groping within anime. The amount of gropey and rapey character.
That is
Going back to My Hero, the little fucking purple dipshit that just gropes all the women in his class and stuff like that. Again, young boys see that and will see it played off as a joke and apply that to their
My
life.
Hero is mostly like women audience from what I've seen, which is shocking.
That is surprising.
But even then, they hypersexualize those kids. It's just like, no, stop. Please.
Either way, that's just an example. There's a lot of anime that do this. Maybe not as bluntly as that guy, but there's a lot, especially... Have you ever heard in an anime or manga some guy be like, oh, it's okay, I'm not into you. I only like women with C cups or higher. Or C cup or lower.
No, it's still wrong. I don't care what you say, it's still wrong. So you would do it if they had a C cup. No. Fuck you, asshole. Pervert.
That's such a perverted and shallow view of people. And the fact that anime men will often say this stuff to anime girls, it's like, that's not how we should view women.
It shouldn't. And manga artists should stop talking about this.
And sure,
because
is it? Could I will upload here?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Because I gotta upload in like 15 minutes.
Because it's like, sure, you can have those sexualized things of women shown as well, but at least try to villainize, antagonize, or show in a more clear light that that's not okay. It's okay to have sexualized topics even. It's okay to cover sex. But do it with tact, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, in Happy Sugar Life, have 2 pages of disclaimers.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Jump scare where the anime protagonist turns around and sees 2 essays worth of disclaimers saying they do not condone this.
Thank goodness.
And that it's wrong. Oh my god. Well, in the end, maybe society is destined to become Happy Sugar Life.
Bro,
and
what?
everyone is bitter.
Huh? What do you mean by this, huh?
I mean that everything is going to shit.
Kyle.
Anyway, that's our yapping for the day. Tune in next time where I'm gonna yap about fandoms and how much I fucking hate them.
Merry Christmas and have a good night.